Alright, and welcome to this hectic video today where we're going to be working on Archie's beamer. It's in a different state to the last time we've seen it. So we spent a couple of days, we took the doors off, we just cleared out this whole area, and you can see there's a hint on what we're going to be doing. And here's another hint. So yeah, as you can see, we're a bit in crust city, and even worse underneath. Yeah, as you can see, it's not looking too happy underneath there, and we've got a few bits along here as well. And yeah, so Archie's went out, has bought a big old sill, that we can put in, and I'm going to be the one that's cutting this car up and welding it, and I'm going to see how good of a job I can do. So we have the whole sill that goes along, but I don't think I'm going to do all of it because I don't really want to start messing around with pillars, especially when it's jacked up like this. It's not really good. The whole car could sink down and not be right because this is all structural right along here. So yeah, we've also got a bit up in that corner there which is a bit bad, and we don't have a sill plate for it. There's the sill right there for it. The whole sill does not cover that bit, so I'm gonna have to make that. There's also more work underneath, but yeah, I'm literally just gonna stick a GoPro down and I'm gonna clean this all up. Well, I'm gonna clean this all up first, see what state it's in. Ooh, maybe I should keep an eye on the camera. Yeah, see what state it's in, clean it all up, and see what we're working with. I'm gonna start cutting little bits and bobs, but I'll come back with you. But yeah, no, just to kind of like show you a bit more. Archie's BMW came from Driftlands, and it's had a lot of work done to it at Driftlands, and one of the things was these really weird wide arches that I honestly quite like them. They just need a good paint, if I'm honest. But yeah, these are like super flared out. I don't know if I can really show. You see there's the bumper line there, and they're super flared out. This is all, it appears to be metal, so I think they have like just rolled the hell out of the arch and pulled it as well. But unfortunately, right down here, this bit where this bit connects up here, we've got crusty, rusty boys. So I'm gonna have to cut into this and kind of destroy that work. I think that was Stu at Driftlands. I want to say, I know he does a lot of the bodywork stuff, so I'm pretty impressed, and it's one less thing I've got to weld. But yeah, this is just mental. The whole car, like this whole arch, and the other side's obviously the same. But you can see it's obviously been done. They've sprayed it as well, and they've even went for the same colour. But it's no, it's definitely not the best paint job in the world. But for what Driftlands were using this car for, you don't expect it to be either. But yeah, so I'm gonna clean up all the sills and just see what I'm working with. Okay, so it's been a few hours now, and as you can see, stuff has escalated. So I've just kind of focused on this whole kind of area here, probably up to about there. So I was actually really happy with how these bits up here came. I thought I was just gonna have to do the whole sill there, but I'm just gonna cut, chop, and weld in what realistically needs to be done. So I've got all this bottom bit off, and as you can see already from that little hole there, it has escalated, but I mean, we're just trying to find everything that's wrong with it. So this pad here I'm going to take completely off, I think, and just give it a good clean underneath it, and you know, zinc primer and stuff like that. So it's all nice, it's all new. I was just going to like open this flap up just so I can see what's in there, but seeing as I'm at this stage, I might as well just take it off completely and just give it a good clean up and check how that plate's doing, because from this angle here he looks a bit crusty. So bits like this here, I can't actually see that one, but I know these two here, the backs of these are completely fine. It's only surface rust on the front, so I think I'm gonna leave all that. That's all. I might as well not waste my time, especially when there's bigger fish to fry. So jacking point's pretty good. It's solid. I mean, I jacked the car off it when I put it up here. I've cut up in this bit here so as I could fold that up, so as I get better access into this corner bit here, which is the floor pan inside, which I will show you in a second. But as you can see, all that sill metal on the sides, this side here looks alright. This stuff here, it's thick enough. I'm just going to clean it all up. I might cut the little lip off of this bit here and just remake that. Depends how much material I have. It needs just a little something in there anyways. And I'm not sure, I think, well, the outer sill welds to that, so it'll need something anyways, but just up to there. The rest of it is fine. I've took a flat disc over it. It doesn't even come off, so that's all good. So this is the area I'm working on right now. As you can see inside the car, it escalated. So I ended up just sending a screwdriver through the floor. So that's a common area where these BMW rusts along this whole edge bit here. So not really surprised that that's went, but the thing that had killed it there was the seam seal. Water had got underneath the seam seal, and basically once that happens, that's it. Your metal's rusting. And it was kind of the same story over here as well. There was loads of seam seal here, water got into it, rusted it. But this here seems to be a lot thicker metal, this bit here. But yeah, so I've not even got in over there or even further underneath it. I've been trying to clean up as I go along, but there's so much under sealing on this stuff. Like, I need that light. All this like under sealing stuff and everything, like this stuff here and all that, like so much of it, and it's so thick. And it's what's happened is it's kind of like, hang on. What's happened is when it's got wet, it's pulled away, and obviously the water's just sat on it, and it's just ripped it up over the years, and it's just kind of like started to rust everything. So I'm going to take quite a bit of the edge off of that. Up there doesn't look too happy, but there is metal there on the other side which you can't see here. It's fine, so that can be at a later date kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just going to clean. I'm going to take off all that under seal and everything like that, and then I'm just going to clean it all up and then paint it, and then get some stone chip guard on it as well. But yeah, no, the actual inside of the sills though, we're looking pretty good. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to be making is that corner bit in there, and it's quite complex. So that is one half. It's sharp, funny enough. So we've got two ends like that, and as you can see with profile, that's the profile of that end. And then this end has a bevel going down the side of it, where it kind of like kicks up to the kind of foot bit. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make all that out of an old rusty wing. So I've got my bit here, and I'm gonna bang it up and see what I can make. Alright, this is how far I've got with this little bit. So I've made this little panel here. It's only meant to kind of half fit in it right now, so I've kind of mimicked the shape of everything, and I think the holes that are down there, I'm just going to have to weld them in, because it's quite a complex bit of panel, like up on that gap there. But yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. And then for this little bit here, I'm going to be up there. I'm just going to do that separately. So it all kind of needs jigged about quite a bit. There's a few weird contours on that, and a lot of it is going to be just welded in, bash it into shape, but it's got the general shape. And for the gaps here, I'm just going to weld them up. And then there's this end around here that actually is meant to bend up, but I've cut it a little bit too short, so I'm just going to go straight down with a bit of metal, because nobody will see it. It'll be underneath loads of carpet, so better to have solid metal than nothing. That's already blue. How about that? So yeah, that's the first little bit of fabrication that I've done. But yeah, luckily I don't need to fabricate any of that because I've got a sill. I've got a full sill underneath there. And as I say, I'm just cleaning stuff up as I go along. Cool. Alright, next day. So what I've done is I've cut off more. Cut all this section here because it was a bit worse for wear. So that's all been cut out, and yeah, I've given me good access in there anyways. So cleaned up all the bottom of it. As you see, the welding clamps on. Cut open this bit so I can get a bit in closer in there. I'm gonna spend some time in there and clean all that up. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and weld this bit next. Well, start the first bit of welding anyways. Need that bit on so then I can need that plate in there for the footwell so as I can get this bit done and all mocked up. So I better start welding. Kind of focusing on the back bit here, but yeah. So also that's the crust on the inside there. Kind of crusted it up a wee bit. That bit was alright, so I just crusted that up as well. And then obviously that bit's going to get cut out in a minute. Right, that's that bit welded in. That was not easy. Yeah, it was not easy. I ended up just taking chill out time, letting it all cool down, and trying to figure out what was going on. And yeah, the kind of things I was saying, it's just me, plus the purity of the metal. It's not the best really to be working with, but I mean, it's what I've got. So yeah, I've welded it in. I welded another piece in there because it was just had a little gap there, so that looks terrible. But the good thing is the next piece is just going to be covering it right on up, and yeah, and then there'll be a sill underneath it. It's a new day, and I've cut more out of the car last night before I left. Cut that panel out there that was an issue. Where is he? Don't cut myself. Don't cut myself. So that was this bit here. Oh, hold the mic, Brad. That was this bit here, and as you can see, there is some pitting started on this side. Obviously, that was pretty well sent. A little bit starting there. And yeah, you can see it was just starting to come through there. So, yep, out with that a bit, and we'll get a new bit in. I also made this guy here that is underneath the light. So this doesn't look like much, but that is a replacement for this area in here. So I'm going to weld up the cut grooves that I did to get into there. I'm going to forget about that piece there, because it is horrendous, and weld in an even worse piece, probably. Yeah, so I'm just going to send that in, and hope for the best. So that was a different design, like it had kind of curved edges coming down on it. If it focuses, here we go. It had like kind of curved edges coming down. So what I'm going to do is that there wasn't actually much holding it into this B-pillar post that goes all the way up the car. So you can see, it's quite far up. You can even see the seat mounting bit in there. So yeah, I'm going to tie it into that a little bit, and that would actually increase structural rigidity tiniest of bits, not much, but it's a little bit extra something. So that'll fit up in there, and I've also got it so that the bottom edge here welds onto that edge here, so I have a flat line to weld the actual outer sill to, and keep this shape all in one. So yeah, I'm just going to weld that in, see how it goes. I've also got lifted this bit up here, so I could get in there a bit better. But yeah, I think we're just going to cut it off because it's not going to bend flat again. You ask for more shitty welding, and you get more shitty welding. Yeah, I'm just struggling with porosity in the welds. It just doesn't seem to want to glue proper well. Let me just change that. There we go. That's a bit better for you. Yeah, just doesn't want to stick very well, annoyingly. But yeah, it's on. It's solid. The welds may look like absolute utter garbage, like that boy right there. Not too close for the camera. Yeah, not very fun this. It's not going too planned, but it's on. And the next bit. Oh, if you're wondering about this guy here, I tried to use some gasless wire, and it absolutely sent itself through the actual metalwork. Yep, don't use gasless wire. Fun fact. Anyways, I'm going to go on, and I think I'm going to put this back bit together now. Nice, out of focus. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the back bit together now. Alright, so yesterday I didn't get too much done because, yeah, Archie was here and we ended up working on the Mini most of the day. So, did this morning, well, afternoon. Got spot weld holes all drilled out and ready to go. So I like to do like a countersink kind of hole, and then just kind of pierce through a little bit so you can actually start to get a bit of a weld going on. We've got them all the way along, apart from that bit there because there's no metal there on the actual car. So that's all shaped in, almost ready to go. And if I bang up the ISO so you can see stuff, I've signed it all, ready to go. There you go, shightly welded by, drive shifty, so as people can get into the, if it ever needs to come back off. So yeah, this whole area, it's all ready to go, and I'm basically going to cover it up, put that bit on and weld it on. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I'll set up the GoPro somewhere so as you can watch. There's a few tack welds. Gonna pull it up here so it meets a bit better. It's not looking too bad. Bend that around a bit more. Not bad at all. Give you a quick look at them. A little bit porosity in some of them. Looks a lot better though, pigeon shitty right there. But those bits along there, whereas if I could just do a line like that, I was fucking fine.